Good morning, it's Kale. I'm doing my early morning diamond painting. Welcome on in. Let's see here. So I'm continuing on with this section. It's early here. It's only 6 in the morning, but the dogs are quiet. I thought we'd just put on some chill music and continue on with this section. I did get my drills in, so I went back to the other two sections where I had run out of a color and filled those in. So that's done, so I'm back to this section. So I have a little bit of coffee here. My hubby went to work. Hopefully the volume's okay on the music. So yesterday I was doing a gaming stream and I thought I was going to be clever and move the microphone kind of further away, like not in my face, and the volume was really bad. So today when I do my paleo stream, I will put it back where it was. So my apologies on that. It's just a boomer moment. Those do happen more often lately, but it's okay. You gotta take the bad with the good. Well, it's not really bad. That's not really the right word. So I decided this morning I would just do do this as a recording instead of a stream. What was that? I don't know. My phone? Something. So tonight, after I think it's 8 o'clock, not that the puppy's eating at that hour anyway, but she can't have anything to eat, and I don't know, I can't remember if they said water. I don't think water. I think just can't have anything to eat because she's going to be taken to the vet tomorrow to get spayed. So you might have heard of my other video where I talked about how we were going to go out in our RV for a weekend trip, and like I had scheduled her to be spayed and she went into heat like, I don't know, like 3 days before her appointment. I was like, oh gosh, like I missed it just by a little bit. So there's usually a kind of long gap. Well, I don't know if it's super long, but a long gap between when they go into heat and when they go into heat again. So I'm in that window where she hasn't gotten into like a second heat. I'm like, I'm getting this done. Because it's messy and they're not happy. And of course she's a puppy, so she was confused, like what's going on with my body. Yeah, it was when it happened to Rosie, because again I didn't do it early enough. So if you're gonna spay your young puppy and kitten, get it early before they go into heat. Now I don't know if there's like a, I don't want to say theory, but if some vets think that they should be allowed to go into heat once, I don't know, for their system or hormones. I don't know. I'd have to look that up. I prefer for them to just not have to go through it, but I'm not a vet, so do your research. But of course, once they're, you know, I mean, if you're not planning on breeding them, which I definitely don't want to do. I mean, I already have 4 dogs and a cat. If you're not going to breed them, yeah, the best thing to do is just spay them. It kind of levels their hormones, I guess is the word I want to say. They kind of calm down. And with the males, kind of looking for that color over here, like not right here, I'll do that one in a second. So they kind of calm down, and like for the males, they're not as aggressive. I don't know, they just kind of chill out. I'll turn this down a little. So yeah, so that's the plan for tomorrow morning. Hubby will take her before he goes into work. He'll just drop her off. It's just like down the road. It's nice to have the vet so close. And he's been a vet for a long time, so he knows his stuff. He's real good with the animals. He's probably been a vet for like, I don't know, 30 years, 40 years. Okay, maybe I can do a little color blocking here. So I didn't want to get out of bed this morning because I've got a sinus headache. Look at this gapping. See this gapping right there? Ugh. Cannot stop it. No matter how close I push these things together. It's like, don't think about it. Drive me crazy. My OCD. Let's see, 4. So I think it's ragweed season here. I think that's what the issue is. I think it goes for like, these didn't go on. I think it goes for like a couple of months. Unfortunately, that drill stuck to my finger. I was like, what? Oh, that one fell off right before I placed it down. Okay. Fine. Coffee. I refilled my coffee before I started recording. So I was listening to Night's Watch, which is Shad Brooks, talking about the Rings of Power next, recent episode. Obviously there's no improvement because these people don't know how to do what they're supposed to be doing, which is writing a good show. So yeah, I'm so glad I decided not to hate watch it. I would have been so aggravated, and there's no need to get that aggravated. Okay. So let me see if there's any like back over there. I see one over here. And I see one here. It's like a cream beige yellow color. I see one here. scan with the eyes early in the morning is like, wait, wait, hold on, slow down. So, you know, it's not going to be like here in the green, most likely, or like up here in the blue, most likely. So, but I do like a quick scan, you know. I mean, if I miss one, I miss one. I'll get it as I do like my next passes through this section. This one here. So before I do my Palea next stream, I'm going to definitely take some Tylenol sinus. Ugh. Just whatever. Okay, I think that's it for that. Do I see any more arrows? No, I don't think so. Not those arrows. Okay. That was 3033. So then we've got a circle with a line through it. Most of the circles are together in the storage little thing I have, except for that one. Except for that one. And I've used that color before, so it's just a matter of remembering like where it is. As usual, where are these symbols at? It's just that there's so many. Why wouldn't I have it where the other circles are? That's illogical. Illogical. Wow, that's like seriously frustrating. Kale, find the color. Find the color, girl. Oh, here goes the AC. I think today it's going to be the heat index. Here it is. It's sort of. I'll have to scoot that over one. It's going to be like the heat index is going to be like 103. So somewhere else, somebody, this is 800. Somebody may be experiencing fall, but it's not here. We are not experiencing fall at all. I would say, well, next week, I think the weatherman said it's going to be in the upper 80s. Which, look at these two are like stuck together. Excuse me. So yeah, it's, you know, it may be coming up, I think it's this weekend, coming up to technical fall, right? But temperature wise, it's certainly not happening here. I like fall. It's kind of cool. It's not cold. The leaves start changing colors. It's really pretty. And then you've kind of got like that, how do I say it? Kind of got like that holiday feel, like getting ready to like pop off, you know? It's like, hey, Christmas, Thanksgiving. At least like if you're an American. Like in the stores, they already have Halloween stuff, you know. I can understand the fall stuff. I mean, it, you know, it is almost fall. Technically, you know, they don't have like beach stuff in the stores, you know, like it's summer. Why is this thing upside down? I don't know why I put it there upside down, because I'm blind. So yeah, so they already have Halloween stuff in the stores. It's not even October. Halloween isn't till the end of October. It's not at the beginning of October. What the heck? But people, you know, they really, really love Halloween. It's like, I guess, their favorite holiday or whatever. Okay, I think that's it for this little circle with the line through it. I missed one of the cubes. The cube is the color that I just got in on the drill order. Can you come out of there? Sometimes they get stuck to your skin. Okay, here's the cube. There's a few of those, I think. So the other day when I was diamond painting, this is a 598. I took the 597s and there was just a few. I missed a circle right here. I dumped some of the 597s in the 598. I was like, really? So before I started recording, I was going through the drills and picking out the wrong color and putting it in the right container. I think I've done that like 3 or 4 times. Not too often, considering how much I diamond paint, but you know. And I usually kind of catch myself as I do it, but I've already like tipped over and dumped the drills in there, and I'm like, oh, I just did that wrong. That doesn't go in there. And then I have to pour them out, and then I have to pick through them and separate the colors, which is quite time consuming. Yeah, it kind of sucks. It's usually not a lot of drills, but you know, it's enough. Like, I don't feel like doing this, I'd rather be doing something else. But you got to get them out of there. Like, you can't wait too long, because then you'll forget. If you don't keep the containers together, you'll forget which color was the wrong one. So I usually try and do it fairly quickly after I've poured them in the wrong container. It's just one of the diamond painting mishaps that you might go through. The other thing is, I try to remember that once I take the drills out of the container, is to close the container while I'm putting the drills down, because there have been several times where I have knocked it over and the drills come falling out. Now, I haven't really like dropped them on the floor. It's usually just like, but yeah, it's kind of a pain. So just close your containers. There's a lot of opening and closing containers when you're diamond painting. Why is this? Like, get down there. Which of course is not something that you know when you're first diamond painting, because I don't know how many people mention that you should close those while you're diamond painting. Just to be on the safe side. You never know. I think I was diamond painting one day, and I wasn't recording or streaming or anything, and the cat jumped up here on the table. I almost had a heart attack. I was like, "Ah, what are you doing? Get down." Because she came from the back side of the table, so I didn't even see her, and all of a sudden she was on the table. I'm like, what? No, get down. She's not supposed to be in here anyway. because I have so many delicate things. Normally I would let her. I mean, she's old. But I have so many delicate things. You know, things that were my mom's, things that my kids have given me. I really don't want her messing with them. I'm not sure if she would, right? But again, I don't want to take that chance. Because once something like that breaks, you know, those sentimental knick-knack things, once they're broken, that's it. They're gone. Okay, so I think I've got, this is the cube. Let me look over here. So it's kind of like a blue-green color. So I've got blue and green here, so I'm going to scan here, but it's a different green. This is more like the olive green color. Check over here, so see more of that teal, blue-green color over here. There's one there. Okay, I think that's that. Right? Let me look in here. This is the picture frame, like with a mountain, and that's the martini glass. That's the $5.97. Okay. So that's kind of how I do it. So I'll pick a color. You know, like here I'm trying to finish this little corner. Right, this looks like a lot of color blocking here. So I'm going to try and fill this in, and then I'll probably move like into here. So we've got the diamond. It's $6.44. It's a coffee brown, light coffee brown color, maybe. And this color, I haven't really seen any color blocking with this color. It's just usually like scattered throughout a section, so you got to kind of look for it. Like you'll come across it and there'll be like one or two. Like I've never really seen like a bunch together. For whatever reason. That chill music, that little bass going off. I watched a video the other day of a music video of Sting, Phil Collins, Mark Knopfler, or Knopfler, however you say it. He's the guitarist from Dire Straits, and Eric Clapton on stage together playing Money for Nothing. Well, I don't know, it's a Dire Straits song. It was really cool. It was a cool little song, little concert thing, I guess, that they were doing. Of course, you know, they're all like great musicians and so forth. Back in the day when musicians and singers really had talent. You know, it's like real music. No auto-tune and whatever to enhance your voice. Just raw talent. Raw musicianship. Very impressive. You know, growing up with that kind of music, I'm assuming, like, I don't know, not assuming, but people probably took a lot of that for granted. You know, they're like, oh, they're just singing, right? Or they're just playing a guitar solo. Or that's a really catchy tune, you know, say like a Hall & Oates song, really, because it's catchy. And didn't really think about it, or probably even imagine that music would change so much that it would just become crap, right? I mean, basically today's music is crap. I cannot listen to the radio. I just don't. I can't handle it. And then when they go and they do is it the Emmys? I don't know, the music awards, whatever. Half the people that are up on the stage, I have no idea who they are because I just won't listen to that kind of music, like hip hop, R&B, rap. I mean, I think there's maybe only a couple of rap songs that I like, but they're old, from back in the day. I think there's an Eminem song, and I think there's maybe a Run DMC. But for the most part, that was like never the kind of music that I was into, and I didn't think it was very good music. I thought it was extremely repetitive. The lyrics were awful and sent a terrible message. You know, just being a playa and all that. Just, like, really? Nobody cares if you think you're a player. People would rather care if you're like a nice person, you know, or a good husband or a good father. Nobody cares if you're a player. So yeah, so I'm just, you can tell I am not a fan of that. My apologies, that's just my opinion. I'm not being a bigot or anything, but that's just my opinion. Of course, you have to remember that I grew up on like classical music and musicals, you know, and my mom's like Moody Blues and her Beatles album. She had a couple Beatles albums. I mean, you know, because you have to remember my mom was young when she had the first 4 kids, the oldest 4. So she had my brother, I think she was 17. She had me when she was 19. And when she was 21, she had my younger brother. 21, and then I think when she was 22, she had my sister. So those were the oldest 4. It's like back then when people were like having children. You know, children, the thing that perpetuates the human race. Children teach you how to be a better person. Did you know that? It also, they also help you to appreciate like the little things in life, like a smile. So yeah, so she was young, and so of course she was listening to, you know, what a young person would listen to back in that time period. So she was born in 1941. But she was really cool. So when she grew up, she was playing the piano and the violin. So she grew up in a kind of ritzy household. She was actually adopted. So the lady that adopted her wanted a daughter, I guess. I don't know. But, or in a combination of helping somebody out, so I'll explain that. So, my mom's real mother was actually a maid in this kind of well-off household. So apparently she got pregnant, and I guess the father bailed, or she was young, or whatever the situation was at the time. So my mom's mom, the one that adopted her, I guess was helping her out. I didn't really know like the whole story. I don't even think my mom knows, but she was either like helping her out or just wanted to adopt the baby. So she adopted my mom, and The sad thing, you know, raised her, but the sad thing is that she passed away. I don't know if it was an accident or something. Right before my mom had my older brother. I missed a crown here. It's hidden. So my mom's in this kind of hoity-toity household back in Puerto Rico. And, you know, there are people with money in Puerto Rico. It's not like a hellhole, like, dare I say it, Haiti. And, well, it's not total hellhole, but it can get pretty bad. Well, they got these storms just tear the island up. So, so she was raised by a well-off single woman. And this is, you know, back in the early 40s. So you can just imagine they probably hid that somehow, you know, from other people. Like, excuse me, like they probably hid the fact that she wasn't like her real mother. I don't know. But I don't think that was like super socially accepted back in that time period. So I don't know how they handled it. But they gave my mom, you know, piano lessons and violin lessons, and she took ballet. I think her mom, her like biological mom, continued working there for at least a little bit. Yeah, it was kind of odd situation. So, my mom was raised, you know, with like, you know, good taste. I'll put it that way. She was raised with good taste, fine manners. She was a very interesting person. So, of course, when we became teenagers, she was still listening to, you know, what was considered back then probably radical music. You know, the Beatles. My allergies. And, you know, so she had like the White Album, you know, from the Beatles. It was pretty cool. Am I done here in this little section? This little, it's a cross with looks like a house roof. This is one of those colors that's kind of tends to be, there's maybe a few sections of color blocking, but it's like scattered throughout a section. So of course, when my mom was raising us, I mean, yeah, she listened to our music, right? She would listen to it. Some of it she liked, like she liked Billy Joel. She liked Hall & Oates. Like she liked that stuff, you know. She was still cool, right? So let's see. So if I'm 10, that means she's 29. And if I'm 15 plus 5, she's like 34. So as you can see, like she was still young when we became teenagers, the 4 older kids. And then she had the last 2 when I was 13 and 14. So we grew up with classical music. You know, she had, it was so awesome. She had this box set of records, like an actual, you know, album, a record, like what they did back in the day. She had this glorious box set of Beethoven's symphonies. Oh my gosh. It was blue. And they were and the record label was blue. And we would just put that on because we had record players back then. There were no, CDs. There were no CDs. There were records. And we would put that on, like when we were making breakfast or whatever. I mean, the TV wasn't always on. People had no cell phones. Or we put on a musical, say like Oklahoma, or Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, which is my favorite musical. And we would all be singing and, or listening to the symphony while we're like vacuuming. We did have vacuums back then. It wasn't totally primitive. Yeah, it was interesting. And so, she wanted us to be, what's the word? I don't know if it's educated, but experienced in, I'll say like the classics, like classical stuff. The thing that people don't do these days, reading, playing an instrument, learning, like being well-rounded. Like I took ballet, I took fencing, I took ice skating. All of us played instruments. It was just a thing, like we all knew that that's just what we did. When we would have like, downtime or not doing, something all together as a family, I'd go in my room and I would just read. I would read books. I was a voracious reader. I mean, there was no, multi-channel programming really on TV. They were basically like PBS, NBC, ABC, CBS, and maybe a couple of other UHF channels. But, that was it. There were no DVDs. There was no music on cassette, movies. So you basically had to like, find something to do. So since I like reading, I would just go in my room and read, or go outside on the patio, because we had a patio on our house, or just read in the living room while everybody else is playing a board game, or my two youngest brothers were playing with their toys. I mean, really, like, it was, So that's why I guess I don't really care for some of the modern music. I just think it's awful. My throat is killing me. Ugh. Sinus. It was an interesting childhood. I think it was fabulous. I got a chance to experience all sorts of cool things. Gain some skills, like I can play the clarinet. There's another circle with a line. And I wish that people these days would be interested in that sort of thing, musicals and novels, like classic novels. Like I was reading Shakespeare when I was 11. But people just, this younger generation, I hate to diss on you, but they're just not interested. I kind of think the expression I want to think of is they're jaded. There's like too much choice for them. And it's almost like oversaturation, maybe is the word I'm looking for. And your brain can't really like focus or process when it's like oversaturated that way. And then I think you start to take things for granted, and then you just become numb to anything new or stepping outside of that box that you've put yourself in. And so you just kind of stagnate, and you don't change, and you don't expand your horizons and expand your mind. So oh my gosh, my throat. So like for me, obviously me growing up with classical music, I love ballet music. Ballet symphonies are great. Growing up with that, so like classic rock, classical music, musicals, you know, movie music. Well, of course we did watch the musicals as well, but I think my mom gave me the ability to be willing to try something new. Because, oh my gosh, hold on. Oh goodness gracious, water. Seriously, what is going on with my voice? Hold on. Oh gosh. That's exhausting. And gave me the ability to get out of a box and try something new. So an example is doing diamond painting. I never did diamond painting before. It's been around before I started doing it. I don't know if it's been around a long time, but it's been there. Once I saw it, I was like, yeah, I'll give it a whirl. I want to try that out. And I love it. Maybe like going from, what's another example? Maybe like going from reading, say, like Nancy Drew books, which are like mysteries, you know, back when I was young, to reading The Hobbit. It's two different genres of book. And I came to just adore and have a passion for fantasy literature. Listening to classic rock, pop, classic pop, you know, from back in the day, not current day. And then my son is like, Mom, listen to this, and it's dubstep, which I came to like. You know, you gotta step out of your box, you know. Okay, I think I got all of these. It's actually good for you to step out of your box. It's good for your mind, it's good for your soul, it's good for your heart. There's a cube. I missed one. Let me see if I can pull one out of here. No. It's upside down. There we go. Okay, where did I see it? Right here. Where does that go here? Was, as you can tell, like, sinuses are just jacked. I think I got all of them, at least most of them on that first pass. So this is the wrench. The wrench is $38.13. I'll go about an hour, and then I'm going to definitely, I think there's just one, maybe, definitely go and find the, there might be some more, hold on, find the Tylenol sinus, do the Flonase, do the Claritin, so that I'm not coughing and hacking while I'm doing my gaming stream. Okay, I saw it over here. I know I saw it. I did see it somewhere. Oh my gosh. When I do that, that's so aggravating. And now, like, my mind is refusing to see, like, I'm looking here, and it's refusing to see the wrench. Because now I don't see it. What the heck? Oh, AC went back on. Okay, maybe it's not there that I saw it. How aggravating. It's a light color on the canvas. It's like a lighter color. Did I see it over here? Oh my gosh. Maybe I thought when I looked over here and I glanced over these lines with the circle, I thought that that was the wrench. No, wait, here we go. There was one. The struggles of diamond painting. Maybe it was just the one. Seriously. Ugh. Okay, that's the wrench. Drink some more water. Croak over here. This is a sideways. Wait, the top of the canvas is that way. This is a sideways U. So this is 827. I don't know how many there are of those. You know, when I was a child, or when I was growing up, or when I was younger, let's put it that way, I never had issues with my allergies. Ever. I would just, you know, like a normal kid, just get a cold. The only thing I did have, the only thing I did have was earaches. And my mom would come and put my eardrops with a cotton ball, and I would just lay my head on her lap and she would just rub my ear and give me, like, I think you know, there was no Tylenol, just give me aspirin, and then I would eventually, like, fall asleep after I was done crying because it was painful. I remember that happened quite a bit. My poor mom. It was weird. They were like, they were painful, but it was like you could hear, like, I don't know, like swooshing. It's weird. They were just uncomfortable. Awful. But eventually I grew out of them. And then I never had really any problems with anything ear-wise, right? Until, about like 10 years ago, I had been taking Zoloft, for my depression, and I didn't like the way it was making me feel, because I really dislike the way they make you feel. And I stopped taking them, and then I got tinnitus. So I have this high-pitched ringing that I hear all the time. It's awful. It's like being tortured. It's literally like being tortured. So there's never like any silence in my head. It's always there. Like right now, it's like bugging me. Look, I see some more circles with the lines. What's up with that? There's 2 of them. 3 of them that I totally, those are the ones stuck together, that I totally missed. Why are these stuck together? Don't be stuck together, because they're very difficult to take apart. Like, I was not successful. I had some drills that were like stuck together, and I stuck them in some warm soapy water or whatever, and let them soak overnight, and I only got a few of them to come apart. I ended up having to throw them out. It's very irritating. Okay, so back to the U, the sideways U. So yeah, so I have the tinnitus going on, but I wonder, there's a wrench right there. I wonder if my allergies, you know, if being congested like affects my tinnitus. I think it does a little, because if I'm really like super congested, I can kind of feel that the tinnitus gets a little louder. It's like being tortured. It's not that I can't hear, it's just that while I'm hearing, there's just that ringing going on. Okay, here's the wrench. I'm gonna grab that. Oh, there's some. Okay, here. I think I'm done with the sideways U. Put that in there. Put that back. Pull the wrench back out. It's not a lot. This one there. And there. And here. Right? Look at all these wrenches. It's up in that little blue-green section over there. Ugh. Let's double check and see if I see any other ones there. Not that my double checking always works, but you got to give it a whirl. You know, I don't think the younger generations can really understand what we experience, what the older generation experience, you know, boomers, millennials. You know, a world without the internet and cell phones and streaming, you know, and Disney Plus, whatever. A world that was relatively safe, where your kids could go outside and play, nobody would mess with them. You know, obviously back then politicians also lied. I'm not saying it was perfect, but it wasn't like it is today. So they just don't understand what they missed out on, you know, the music, the movies. And we didn't take that stuff really for super granted. I mean, we appreciated it. Now, of course, I never imagined back then. There's one of those, that the world would change so much. I didn't imagine that people would be so hateful. There's a scene in, I think it's Ben-Hur. Yeah, it's Ben-Hur. And how to explain it? I think it's the woman, and she's like, I think it's Ben-Hur, and she says, "Now I have hate." Something happens. She's like, "Now I have hate in my heart," and that's kind of how current day world is, like, sometimes affects me. It's like now I'm starting to like hate some groups of people. I won't name them. Or I hate like certain political stances or whatever, religious stances or actions. And I used to be a very tolerant person, and I still believe that in the long run, tolerance is good for humanity. For allowing, people to be who they are, that kind of thing. But when you start like harming other people, or you start trying to manipulate other people, that's it, man. That's where I draw the line. And at first I was kind of like, well, and trying to like make excuses, or give, what's the expression we used to use? Cut them some slack, so to speak. And now I just don't want to do that. I'm just like, no, I'm not cutting you any slack. I'm not being tolerant. I don't want to be sympathetic. I don't want to be empathetic. I just want to say no. Just, like, I'm just not going to comply. I'm not going to believe you. I'm not going to do what you want me to do. I'm not going to believe what you want me to believe. You're just full of it. And I'm just like, I'm done. And that probably like irritates people. But you know what? At some point, you have to stand your ground. You can't let people walk all over you. It's kind of like being spiritually and morally bullied, emotionally and mentally bullied by other people, from their ideology or whatever. And it's like, I don't want to be bullied, especially at my age. It's like, are you kidding me? I don't need you trying to manipulate me and bully me into some kind of behavior. Like, go F yourself. Like, just bye. I don't need it. I've lived way too long and been through way too much to put up with that. It's like, no. It's probably like, what is she talking about? But if you're in the know, you're in the know, right? If you're aware of what's going on in current day politics and so forth, society, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. But, there just comes a point in time where you can't be tolerant anymore. I know that, the Christianity teaches you to turn the other cheek and stuff, but I'm not doing that anymore. I kind of think that that's a flawed belief. It's probably okay for certain small transgressions where you can turn the other cheek. But you start getting into like larger transgressions or whatever, like you're just not going to turn the other cheek. You're going to say no. You're going to say stop it. You know, I think people forgot about the golden rule. It's like, treat other people how you want to be treated. And it's like, do you want to be manipulated? Do you want to be lied to? Do you want to be called names? Like, come on, like, tell the truth. Do you want to be called names? Do you want to be bullied? Do you want to be manipulated? Do you want to be brainwashed? Okay, so if you don't, then don't do it to other people. It's that simple. It's literally that simple. You know, do you want to be hurt physically? You know, then don't do it to other people. Do you want to be stolen from? Do you want people to steal your stuff? No, then don't do it to other people. It's real simple. It's a real simple rule. You don't need to have a PhD to understand it or to follow it. You just need to stop and think, like, do I want somebody to do this to me when I'm doing to this other person? And if the answer is no, then just don't do it. You don't need a, you know, a manual or a document or anything, you know. It's just like, it's simple. I mean, like these guys, they're going, walking past women who are walking on the sidewalk and just like hitting them, punching them. Old ladies, women. It's just like, do you want somebody to do that to you? You want some like 6'5", 300-pound guy to come up while you're standing there and just like punch you in the face? Like, if you don't want somebody to do that to you, then don't do it to other people, you know. And if you're going to engage in like evil behavior, then like you need to just go away. We don't need evil behavior in the world. And at first, you know, I was like, I don't understand why these people are doing that. Does it really matter if you understand why they're doing that? Not really. Because they're either mentally insane, mentally incapacitated, some way, shape, or form, or they're just evil. They're just evil. Like, sometimes people are they're just bad. I didn't used to believe that. But I do now. I do now. There's just some people that are just freaking evil. And my response to them is just F off. Go away. Stop doing what you're doing and just go. If not, somebody will make you stop doing it. You know? Now, I do believe that eventually our souls, you know, our spiritual self will all kind of like end up in the same spot, so to speak, and, you know, dimensionally. I don't know if that's the right way to put it. I don't know if I want to say we'll all go to heaven, because I don't really believe that heaven's a place. It's more a state of being, in my opinion. So, because, you know, Jesus says the kingdom of heaven is within you. Well, we're bodies on the earth, right? So he must mean it's in our soul, like it's in our essence, right? So I believe that we'll all end up in the same essence, dimension, thing, connected, whatever. So, you know, however, that doesn't excuse you being evil here on the earth right now. Like, just stop it. Or somebody will stop you. It's just the way it works. You know. It's like if you're say a country and you're like terrorizing another one, somebody's going to stop you, or the other side is going to stop. Like something's going to, like there's an action and there's a reaction. There's no just an action and nothing really like responds to that. There's always like a reaction. And it's, you know, the same with like being emotionally manipulated. There's going to be a reaction. Okay. So enough jibber jabbering. I'm going to end the recording here. I'm going to cover this up. I will continue on with these few little spaces here and then just continue on up. So I'm going to cover this so it's protected, right? Because I don't want to get dust on it. And I appreciate you watching my video, watching me diamond paint and listen to me jibber jabber. And that's an old expression. I will set things up and I will remember to do the microphone in the right spot because I did that in the wrong spot yesterday for my gaming stream. And I will see you in the next video. Be kind to yourself, be kind to the world. I gotta do my nails. You know, and have a fabulous day. I'll see you next time.